Well, it's live right now. Yep. We are back. We are back, guys. Hey, listen. This is the beauty. I'm going to tell you right now. This is the beauty of live radio, live TV, whatever you want to call it, because you just never know what's going to happen. I love stuff like that. Just me personally. I don't get upset. That was hilarious. It's funny, man, because listen, wisdom comes from experience. Knowledge comes from experience. You know, now that taught me a lesson, right? It taught me a lesson, and basically, and I'll share this with you guys real quick while we're waiting for, you know, guys to get back in here. The lesson that was learned in that, and I was just explaining it to Smitty. You got to go with your gut, right? I was peeping not just his name, you know, because sometimes names like that, trollish, kind of trollish, is not, you know, in regards to one thing, but it was kind of, you know, angry nerd. That, you know, that sounds like just somebody who's bugging out, right? The second thing that allowed me to realize in my mind this could be funny is how he said he wanted to come on. Hey, I hate EA too. I want to come on. That kind of, it told me, and my gut feeling was like, what's this about? I don't know if I like this. Second thing he said after that, my man said, oh, I got 2 accounts. Why did I need to know that? So it was some telltale signs, but hey, you live and you learn. Like I said, man, with experiences, it breeds knowledge. Experiences breeds, you know, wisdom, etc., etc. We move on. We got Smitty back here. So just picking up kind of where I left off, guys. All right, what I was saying, Smitty, because I don't know if you had a chance to hear it all, but basically, oh, actually, wait a minute. Oh, what up? What's up, Cody? Shouts out. Let me tell y'all about this guy, Cody, here, man. This guy, it's unbelievable. He watches my Steelers Terrible Towel Tuesdays, and he's always donating in there. I want give you guys, please give him a big up. Say what's up to Cody Harris. I appreciate you for that, man. And you know, a lot of you guys, I found out that some people have come to my channel for Steelers news, and other people know me for gaming. And I'm starting to find out that some of my subscribers, and I hate to call you guys that because y'all just watch me do something. Y'all, I'm no different than y'all. I don't like calling you my fans. I don't like that. But I've started to merge some of you guys as far as content. Some people that know me from Steelers stuff have come down to watch me do gaming stuff, and vice versa. So that's incredible. And thank you for donating to the cause, man. It's only going to allow us to do better things with this show. So we definitely appreciate that. But all right, let's get back to what we were talking about, Smitty. I basically was saying the importance of Operation Sports. And, you know, I kind of went all the way around the barn before I got to my real point. So I'll start there and then let you go. I was basically saying, man, I don't understand why the EA corporates, the ones who decide what needs to go in Madden or what is the thing we need to sell, the ones that Rex alludes to, why don't they look at Operation Sports and see what the real temperature is for longevity in gaming? And what I mean by that is they're about the bottom line. We all know that. We know having a constant model of updating content works. That's why it works, folks. That's why it works. For those people that really don't know why, that's why it works. It's constant updates. It's trying to get better and better and better and having the biggest and baddest team. And now you can get into the tournament and compete. But the content is ever flowing, even after the season. You know, they pushed last year, they pushed content all the way through July, I believe. Right? However, there's another huge, huge chunk of fan base out there that would also lock in like that. And you know what mode they would lock into like that? Franchise. You could get people, you hear Rex always say, the goal is we want people this to be a continuous game that people are playing year to year. Remember when he came on the show, guys, and he said, I want to get some ideas from you all. What kind of things can we do in a CFM world that could be like that, that would keep you playing. So my point is to those folks, if you look at Operation Sports right now, on the front page, you know, they do their annual rewards, awards, games of the year, et cetera, et cetera. The main 3 games that are talked about, for the most part, at least what caught my eye, could be biased here because I'm a hardcore sim guy, but the main thing that caught my eyes, they gave an award to MLB The Show, Best Sports Game of the Year, 2017, right? Now, if you click on the link, what is some of the huge part of what they're talking about? The modes, okay? They also gave NBA 2K18 Best Franchise Mode for 2017. I don't think many can argue with that, even though I haven't played other games in depth. My league is my franchise mode of choice, and I hear that my GM is even better for people who want to get that deep with it. And then you come down to NBA Live 18. Best new feature. What is that best new feature? The one. What is the common denominator with all of those games? Franchise mode of some sort. Whether it's the career mode, you know, being a solo person like my career, or my player, how they used to call it, or is it something in regards to just the franchise? And for the life of me, Smitty, I don't understand how, if these people who are about making more money or the bottom line and what can bring in, this is the quote they always give us: I want to attract the newcomers. And then they say, oh, and you know, maybe how do we keep those guys that like the game playing longer? There it is. There it is. And how can they not see that? Rex says it all the time. He believes build the core, where when your core starts to grow, more will follow. And I don't understand it, Smitty. And I think some of these companies might forget the importance of Operation Sports, which, you know, again, I think Operation Sports is more slanted as far as the crowd base for hardcore guys, you know, hardcore CFM, hardcore sim guys. And, you know, the other piece I wanted to add to that, Smitty, and I'll let you definitely elaborate on all of this as well. I said that we need some of the sim crowd out there to start doing their homework, because it's crazy how we're getting this influx of tweets to Rex and others, and they're saying, hey, don't you guys have anyone, you know, in the Game Changers program that are about sim gameplay and about CFM? And I'm like, it's amazing to me that Rex still tags us and stuff. And I'm like, these are not newcomers. These are people that I have personally talked to. So it's weird, man. But what are your thoughts on all that, Smitty? I know I said a ton of stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is with Madden, and like just keeping in the Madden space, it's like what Rex has said on his stream before. They're starting to push into the space of like, look what the crowd is saying, more and more and more. So then it's like Rex wants to make it undeniable that this is what the people are saying, adhere to it. So then, you know what I mean? Like, they want these things in the game, and this is why. Look at the tweets, look at these videos. The more he keeps pressing that message, the more it takes an impact. Because like you said, it's starting to make an impact internally, but it's not full blown. So that culture's got to turn around. And see, the thing is, the main thing these guys are looking at are numbers. If he does what he does to franchise mode, whatever it is that he does for Madden 19, and it speaks volume in terms of numbers, and franchise usage plays a role in that, that's going to help. That gives him even more ammunition. That makes it easier for him to step up to bat and fight, you know, and get the stuff that we want to have happen in the game. You know what I mean? So that's the stuff that has to happen. But the other thing, though, too, here is that when we're talking about innovation with Madden. That seems to be like oil and water. It's like they can't innovate until the core is fixed 100%. No, 2K's core ain't fixed 100%. FIFA's not 100. There's people in the soccer crowd that say FIFA is not legitimate in terms of soccer, but PES more or less is. Even though PES got problems, but all these games innovate. MLB The Show, like you said earlier, Sim, innovate, modes, expansion, depth, all that. These games all build, but Madden's supposed to just stay in the same spot, don't change anything, don't adjust anything, but it needs to be new and refreshing. No, that can't be the overtone, and I see that on Twitter every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care. I don't care if it's a tournament guy. I don't care if it's a sim guy. And I'm seeing it from some sim guys that be sitting up here talking about they want Madden to be all this in the bag of chips, but they don't want it to move. So how the heck is that supposed to happen? You have to get into Madden has to go to an uncomfortable place, and it has to stay there. And you just be mad, but it has to be done. And that's like, look, NBA 2K18, right? I said earlier, I see what these guys are trying to do when it comes to on-ball defense. They're trying to make it more like what happens in the NBA. Because if you pay attention to NBA games, every defender is not trying to lock dudes up in front of them all day. They're not doing that. They don't play defense like that now. And yes, you see the problems. You could get a bunch of steals just off of ball tangible stuff alone. You bump into a guy, you got the part-time ball tangibility. You got transition defense looks suspect. You got player speed differentials that look suspect at times. You got there's core element basketball stuff wrong with that game. But what did you say, Sim? They were awarded for best franchise mode or whatever.
Yeah.
So they still innovated. You see what I'm saying? It's not done. The core ain't right, but they still innovated. Madden has to do it, and it can't be they take a step to go up, and then now they got to go on a slant downwards because people feeling a certain way. No, people gonna have to feel a certain way, and it's just gonna have to keep going up. And keep going up and expand out, regardless of complaining, regardless of the mode settings. You see what I'm saying? It has to happen, man. Or else Madden's never gonna go nowhere, and people are gonna keep making the same old points. Oh, it's gonna be the same redundant points over and over. These other games, FIFA and PES and all that. FIFA with their physics, they went through their bad stints where they had a bunch of wonky stuff happen on the field, but now look at where the game's at. They had to go, all these games had to go somewhere uncomfortable, where their game had to take a backslide or certain facets that they excelled and just shined in, and all of a sudden it just goes down because they're building it up. They go down to bring it up even better than what it was before. Madden has to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And like what Rex said, Madden 16, wideout DB interactions. Madden 17, you saw it in the blog article. From the overwhelming amount of feedback talking about how the aggressive catching and all that was. This is what we did. They neutered it. They neutered it because of people. So at some point, they're going to have to say, hey, we respect how y'all feel, but this is how it's going to be built. Rex and these guys, they're not on Twitter because they have to be. That's an option. They chose to get on social media. It's not part of their job to field everybody's feedback like that. They didn't have to do it, but they chose to. And they take that feedback and they change the game. But at the same time, we need to see football the way it is in real life, at least in sim mode. We need to see that. Now, they added these modes, and that's the thing. I'm glad they put sim mode in. Even though the game feels pretty lateral across the board to an extent, I'm glad they did it. You got to start somewhere, but build off of that and keep going up. And see, this is my thing, the Hollywood, your point there. You're saying improve the AI. They improve the AI, but then let them improve the AI, and how many people gonna start whining because of the AI improvements? And then say, tune it down, Rex. Dial this back, Clint. I can't win the way I used to, Clint. They got to turn it down. Play UFC 3. That's a perfect that game. That game from start to finish validates my point. They didn't change their system. They didn't say, oh, we got to dial it back because people feel a certain way. They just kept building and building and building and building. And that's why UFC 3 is where it is. We're going to get into that in a moment, but that's why that game is where it is, man. You got to build, and people are just going to have to lose. You're just going to have to start taking L's, and you're just going to have to learn as you play on those high difficulties, and you're going to have to get good. You're going to have to practice and get better. That's the problem. It ain't about all Madden. All Madden ain't even sniffing at hard difficulty on UFC. Yeah, right. Let alone pro. Don't we ain't even talking about legendary. So no, it ain't the same game. And that's what I'm saying. Madden should be that hard. There should be levels that hard, but it's not. It's not. And it can't be like that. Well, with having the segment modes and everything, that's cool. I want to see simulation on Madden be that hard. But the problem is we got folk in this sim community that they ain't ready for that. And I see it online. They ain't ready for that. I already looking at what they're saying now. They ain't ready for that. And that's what it's something that's going to have to happen. And you know what? Either evolve, adapt, or get rolled over. Simple as that. So I'll be right back, Sim. You go ahead and take it for a moment. I'll be right back.
Couple quick things I just wanted to point on. Smooth, I sent you an invite, man. Check your email. You should have it in there. Couple things I just wanted to hit on. Shout outs to London. I see London Baker has a comment here, and I'll read it to you guys. He says, only problem with Smitty's argument is, what about the people that complain about the game currently? Why don't they listen to them and improve the game in the same way they listen to the people that nerf it? And he had another comment. He says, clearly, if they were actually listening, they would add things people are asking for the same way they are supposedly taking things out that people don't want. Well, here's the thing. Again, you have to look at what point are you really arguing? And what I mean is, it's great points what you said, but these are two different issues. We're talking about, like, we can't put nerfing in that category. Nerfing is once something is in the game. You feel what I'm saying? A feature that's in there, whatever they were able to develop on that year. Let's say we always go back to Madden 16 when aggressive catch and all that came out. Now, oh, wow. Shouts out to Antoine Myers. Listen, man, you guys, y'all are over the top, man, when y'all donate, man. $20 donation. Shouts out to him, guys. Definitely make sure you guys give him a virtual round of applause. Shout him out. Listen, man, I appreciate it. Smitty appreciates it. And again, a lot of you guys come to Terrible Towel and you donate. Love you guys for that, man, because you clearly do not have to do it. And that's what I respect the most. You know me from Adam. You just know I'm the guy that you see on YouTube. That's love. I really appreciate that. But what London is saying, man, great points, London. Great points. I'm not disagreeing. But again, the nerfing, I can't include that because that's stuff that's already there. So what the point where I was going to was Madden 16, and NY Kid did a great job making instruction videos. I put one out there, a couple other guys. When the aggressive catch stuff came into the game, right, you were able to defend it. Now, was the aggressive catch a little beefed up? Yeah. But it was starting to give you the feeling of when you have Julio Jones out there and you leave him single covered, you probably going to get mossed, as the Madden term is. I mean, you can really say that can happen in the real world. I get what they were trying to do, but it might have been a little overpowered. I get it. Fix it a little. But they completely fooled with that way too much. Way too much. And they nerfed it. Now, the point I'm making is that was already in the game. What we're arguing tonight, and I think this is where you're going to, London, the difference is, and what you're saying is we're talking about implementing. Now, the implementation comes from those who cut the checks. The guys that Rex and them have to fight against, you know, verbally or what have you. These are the guys that they have to go to and be like, look, man, this stuff needs to be in the game. Those guys are like, well, you know, well, what can we sell? That's literally what they say. How can we sell that? That's why it's always a back of the box feature. And, you know, listen, it ain't just coming out of my mouth. Rex said it himself, you know, and I was very surprised how candid he was on that Muttman podcast that he was on. I was like, wow, he's really laying it out there. And this is stuff we tell us all the time. But when he publicly says stuff like that, and then his own live stream when he says stuff, listen to it. Now, again, you know, let's not be naive. I mean, people can tell you whatever. So I'm not telling you guys to just blindly listen and believe everything that Rex or anybody says. Hey, everything that I say, y'all don't, you know me, but you don't know me. Like, I'm not foolish enough to say, hey, just because I said it, my word is bond, which it is, but you know what I'm saying. But I can tell you, if you trust in what I say, I can promise you, I don't get that from these guys when I talk to them. These dudes are really about making the best game. They're handcuffed. They can only do what these guys allow them to do. And for him to come out and publicly say, I mean, a lot of times I'm dealing with people that they're not football people at all. I can understand that. My only beef with that, though, with them is then why do y'all let every other game blow up? You know, you let FIFA try to be the best that it can be. I don't get it with the Madden, whoever's in charge of that. I don't understand that. And they got to get past that, but just my 2 cents. But hey, man, we got Smooth here on the show. Another guy who's always listening. That's the guy y'all hear me shout out all the time, always dropping them donations in there, man. So shouts out to you as well. Got you on, man. All you got to do is just unmute, and the floor is yours, man. Whatever you got for us.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I was going to say we could hear you right there.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it worked okay.
Yep.
So first thing I wanted to say to you and Smitty is I've been watching you guys for about 18 months, and I really appreciate the content that you put out on a weekly basis. So definitely shout out to both of you for the hard work that you do every week.
Appreciate that, man.
I appreciate that, bro.
I see you looking at your avatar. I guess you would call it. I guess you a Roll Tide fan, huh?
Well, that started.
Who's the starting quarterback next year, man? Tell me, who is it?
I don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to go with Tua or Jalen Hurts, but whoever they go with, if Nick Saban stays the coach for a little while longer, I think we'll be in a good position.
Yeah, that was great coaching. That was great coaching. To pull your top guy, I mean, your main guy, and say, listen, this guy can pass it a little better. We got to pass the ball. Heck of a coaching job, man. I got to give him his credit.
Yeah, for myself, I lived in Alabama for the first 22 years of my life, and then moved out here to Arizona, but stay with my team. I remember when Alabama was 7-4 every year, maybe 5-6 for a long time. So I'm going to keep rolling with the good vibes that we have until they're gone. But it's not going to last forever. And for the people who are like, oh, Alabama wins every year, I remember a time when we didn't win every year. We went 23 years without winning a national title. So I'm enjoying it while I can.
Yeah, man, it happens in spurts. I remember a time when the New England Patriots were garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so they having their run right now, but
definitely
didn't want to sidetrack you, man. What you got for us, man? And welcome.
So I had a couple of different things for the gentleman earlier who you said they flew him in. There were some issues there, and he was asked not to stay. I think overall in general, not speaking about him, but I think it's best to be as transparent as you can overall.
Oh, yeah.
If you feel there are times where maybe there's something you shouldn't be doing, that's on you to make those decisions. And if you continue to do those things you know you shouldn't be doing, there's going to be repercussions in the end. And especially if you have other individuals, once you get called out and you're like, oh shit, I got caught, you know, and maybe I shouldn't have been doing those things, but I got caught. Well, now let me go ahead and shout out some other people that were doing things they shouldn't be doing either. In the end, you have to look at yourself. Yeah. And when you make decisions that might not be the best choices overall, you have to look at what you're doing. No matter what other people are doing, we're talking about you right now. We're not talking about them. So I think that's how you have to look at it overall.
Fully agree, man.
And as for Madden in general, I've learned a lot from you guys over the last 18 months and how that process works. For me, myself, I've been in management for the past year. So I'm learning more about as you move up the ladder. I work in mental health overall. So I have a master's degree in counseling.
My brother does that, man. That's crazy. He finishes his master's in like 2 months, but that's the exact field he's in.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So it's odd. It's the closer you are to the bottom of the ladder, the more you work closely with mental health recipients. As you move up that ladder, you move further away from the people that you work with, and it's more about the bottom line and the numbers that you're achieving on a daily basis. And I kind of feel like it's the same within EA or any company at this point. How do we get the most out of all of the individuals that we serve to get the most income that we can? And with Sim in general, I still feel like at this point, people who enjoy Sim titles, whether it be football, basketball, racing titles, they're on the lower end of the spectrum. Because unfortunately, Sim does not sell as much overall as individuals who pick it up and play for a little while just to have fun. We play it as I feel it's a lifestyle. We do it on a daily basis. We want as authentic and realistic as possible. And now you're adding in esports on top of that. And like I've said in here a couple of other times, does someone really want to lose 10 grand because of a fumble? Even though it was simulation, it could be considered realistic. Who knows? I mean, if you were in that position, what would you want to have overall? So at the end of the day, we're simulation players, and that's what we enjoy, and that's what we like. Unfortunately, the executives that you've spoken of many times on the top of that podium, they might not receive as much income from the sim community as they do from more of an arcade style community overall. And until some things like that change, it's going to be tough to continue to move up that ladder for simulation style players. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, man. That's Smitty. What you got, man? Don't need me answering all the time. I'll go after you. What were your thoughts on that, Smitty? That's an interesting topic.
You made a point. What was the question? The main question you had asked?
I think it's just more us as sim players.
Yeah.
How can we continue to move up that ladder knowing that the suits that are on top of that ladder might not be receiving as much income from us as sim players as from maybe the more arcade style players? How can we make our voice more well-known overall? At the end of the day, the bottom line is making money. If simulation style players don't make as much money as maybe an arcade type player, how do we break that door down?
By making the game see, that's the thing. That's the thing in itself. We actually are, even though our crowd doesn't necessarily cater to the financial end directly, like we're not talking about, hey, give us a card game to play or something like that, you know, where we could buy packs or we can buy this or buy that. But at the same time, why are more people playing MUT? Why are more people, you know, getting more and more into this game? It's because of core gameplay, right? The core gameplay stuff that they're evolving comes from which community? It ain't coming from the tournament guys like that. It ain't coming from casuals. It's coming from our community. It's coming from the people that talk on Operation Sports. and avenues like that. You know, like Sim and I, we do this show. We do our own live streams. We do videos and stuff like that. We send feedback. We're sending feedback about legitimate football things. You know, FIFA sells the 14 million copies or whatever they sell. Okay, here, peep this. FIFA did an ad, right? They did a commercial for FIFA 18 having Ronaldo do this particular move that he did in the game, right? And they centralize it around that move. If I'm a hardcore gamer, and if I'm a hardcore guy, casual guy, tournament guy, what's going to make me want to learn that trick? Oh, man, they have that in the game. They put that in the game, and that's a move that I can actually try and actually pull off. Yeah, I got to go ahead and get on the sticks and play that. Now, if I'm a diehard guy and I say I want Ronaldo's moves to the T put into the game, who's saying that? The diehard soccer guy. The casual guy, I want to be able, you see those moves done. Oh, snap. Yo, did you see what Ronaldo doing? You see that messy stuff he doing? Yo, I got to get that game. Yeah. But who's the ones that are saying that, though? The hardcore, authentic soccer guys. Double team pass blocking, wide out DB interactions, player movement, all that. Whose crowd is saying that? That's our crowd. So when we talk about increasing things, that plays into our favor. Because Madden, like we talked about this before, Madden growing in the esport community and things like that, for that game to really be respected, that game is going to have to look a lot more like football on that stage. It's going to have to. Even with the whole, they got the Street Fighter mentality, that's fine. But it still has to look like football depicted properly on that stage. It isn't there yet. But just think, all the stuff they want. Player meets his threshold. He never misses a pass. He never drops a pick. He never does all these things. He breaks on the ball perfectly, all that stuff. But what about the stuff Sim, myself, AZ, many other people have said? What if the penalties could be user generated like how you see in FIFA?
That's
what if you had that in the game? What if you had player movement like how it's done in FIFA? We talked about that. What if the surfaces that you play on are a lot more tangible? We talked about that stuff. What if distance and height and weight and size played a role outside of skill? Skill factors in when the playing field is kind of is more lateral in terms of, you know what I mean, like where the ball is and the position of the player. If I got a 5'9" DB and I'm got a 6'5" receiver and I box you out, you're boxed out. You see what I'm saying? The only way you're doing something is if you can some way get around my dude's body and possibly punch the ball out. What if you got controls that go to that? See what I'm saying? You cause a pass interference penalty. You cause the holding because you want to be aggressive, or you want your O-line to be aggressive with blocking. And what if the positioning was more one-to-one across the line? See, all these things we're talking about, this is stuff that's done. I'm talking about stuff that's done in FIFA. But if you scale that and put that in Madden, how you think those people play in the FIFA tournaments and stuff? How you think people play in PES, those tournaments? They're playing off of authenticity. They're not playing off of an arcade setting. They're playing off of authentic things that happen in those respective sports. So Madden ain't on that level yet. Just like what I was saying before I dipped out. Look at UFC. Madden ain't sniffing at hard difficulty in UFC 3. Because that level of authenticity is not there. It's not there yet. UFC had to build that up. They had to build theirs. It took them, this is what, like 6 years of 6 years, 3 games. And look what they came out with. I mean, possibly a little bit longer than that, but still. They took the time, built that game out. They didn't go off course. They didn't dial stuff back. They kept pushing forward. took people's feedback and pushed forward. Madden just needs to do the exact same thing. And then guess what? Once again, our feedback, our community, we're the ones that are causing Madden sales to go up. More people will get involved with MUT. More people will get involved playing their franchise modes because you build it up. You have what Deuce Douglas does, and you got gameplay that mimics what they have in FIFA, except it's in the football confine. That's it. We win. The whole paradigm just shifted, and it's because of stuff said from our community, the smallest number. Casuals outnumber us, tourney guys outnumber us, but yet look, we're the ones that are causing the damage. We're the ones that are making the change. Double team pass blocking. Who you think was talking about double team pass blocking the most? That was our community. You see what I'm saying? So all these elements, they play a role in that. And from that, Madden ends up getting higher ratings, higher scores. It gets nominated for awards and stuff like that, like you've seen the stuff done on OS. Let Madden be the game that ends up getting into those rankings. Like that legitimately gets a lot more of that notoriety and a lot of that buzz. More people are going to get involved. I'm still seeing people liking that Deuce Douglas post every single day. I have at least 2, 3, 4 people that are liking that post that he posted back up in July. I'm telling you, Madden does that. They'll sell even more copies. They only sell like 6 million copies a year. There's tons of people out there there's more than 6 million football video game fans out there. Especially when back in the day you were selling 10 million copies of Madden on PS2. So there's more, and we didn't even talk about 2K. So there's more football people out there that would love to jump on this game. And just think about it. If you see those legitimate elements in football happen in the game, and you in Best Buy walking past the TV and it just pops at you like that, because the way players move and interact and the crowds and all that stuff you see, they have all that going on in the game, right? People gonna be what is that, a replay of the game? No, that's Madden. That's Madden. Hey man, let me get that 4K. Give me that PS4. Give me that X1. Let me get that Madden real quick. That's the casual cat. They'll do that.
They'll do it.
They're gonna do it. And that's because, once again, because of the feedback that we give it, they doing that. So that's why it's kind of taking that whole entire, that taking that equation and basically flipping it on its head. It's not necessarily what we got to do, because we don't generate we're not generating the sales like that. We are generating the sales from what we're doing. So that's the thing. Because of what we're doing, that's the kind of stuff Rex can go to bat with and say, like, look, let franchise mode hit. He could come and be like, hey man, look, when we put authentic things in the game, these numbers go up. Let me do more of that stuff. Just saying. Doesn't hurt. You give people all the tools, they'll be able to do it. They can make the game. So that's my take, though.
Y'all can't tell me I don't know when to alley-oop my brother, man. I know what pushes Smitty's buttons, and I know how to get the best out of Smitty. But it's simple, man. Smooth, in my opinion, most definitely everything Smitty said, but I think they got the answer. These competitive arcade simp, all they got to do is continue to do what they're doing in competitive, as far as, okay, we're not going to have this on, we're not going to have that on. Even though us real football fans would love to see a game where the penalties and all that matters on a competitive level. But if you want to separate the crowds, fine. But you still must replicate.
Hold on. Wait a second. What happened? Did this cat drop $20 twice?
Yes, he did. He's the real MVP.
Antoine, yo, gotta clap it. Gotta clap that to you, bro.
Phenomenal.
That's what's up, bro. That is what's up. Appreciate that support, man.
No words. I have no words for it, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, definitely. I just had a couple of more things I wanted to say, and I'll get out of here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
So I think simulation players, it works for them until it doesn't work for them. I used to be the type of guy that it's 4th and 10. Fourth down, I throw the slant pass. My guy would drop it. It's fourth quarter. I'm down by 3. I get so mad. I had so many holes in the wall. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
But over time, as I've gotten older, when that same thing happened, I was like, you know what? It didn't work out for me, but I'm not frustrated about it. I'm cool with that. So I think that works. That works also. And like Smitty said, it's a foundation. If you can build that simulation foundation, you can take your different avenues from there. You have arcade, then there's the middle one. I forgot the name for that one. And then your simulation. I feel like if you can build the simulation foundation, then you can branch off from there. You can give arcade guys what they would like to have. You can give simulation guys what they want. I don't know what's involved with that overall, but I think in a way you can give everybody what they're looking for, and that is the most profit you can gain at the end of the day, and you make everybody happy at the same time.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, I don't know how far we are from that. You know, things such as dynamic weather, stuff like that, jersey pulls, which you talk about a lot of the times, stuff like that. That's probably more down the road. I think the more individuals you can get to buy in overall, you're going to have a better product in the end.
Absolutely, man. And it's like you said, you have to build the core first and then branch off. That has to be it. Because here's another thing that's going to be very telling. A lot of us watched FIFA's tournament last year and we were like, wow, look at how well it shows. But it ain't even going to be FIFA. It's going to be that other nemesis that we all put against Madden. When this 2K League comes out, and if we start seeing it looks like authentic basketball, that's going to be the teller right there.
Yep.
That's their competition. And that's where they got to get to. Like you said, man, build the game. And then, you can decide based on settings what you want on and off. That's cool. That game is all about functionality. How you like my opinion is when you go into functionality of a game, it has nothing to do with arcade, competitive, and sim. How does this game function? All right, now we got that in here. Okay, so for arcade people, we'll let it do this, and that's how you got to do it. Player movement should be in every single one of those modes.
Yes.
Real contact and physics, every single mode. Height and weight, mass, every single setting. But then the setting should determine like the sprinkles. Do we want to have penalties? Do we want a guy? Because we don't have the game yet to where it can be non-random. Nah, let's take penalties out of it. I don't want a guy losing 50,000. I'm fine with that. But that should not drive the way the game is being built.
Right.
That's simple.
And the last thing I wanted to say, I just wanted to thank both of you guys for the hard work that you put in. I've been watching you guys for a while now. Definitely appreciate what you do on a weekly basis. I can tell you this, without social media and without YouTube and you guys doing what you do every week, Madden would not be where it is right now. And I believe that. So continue to do what you do. Keep progressing the game as much as you can. And we'll just keep going forward from there. Thank you both for what you do every day.
Thank you, man.
Hey, man.
Definitely appreciate you because you're always around, man.
Yes.
Always in our streams. And like I said, man, I promise you guys this. I will put it in the air right now, and I'll speak on Smitty's behalf as well. If the day comes that either one of us or both of us is at 100,000 quote unquote subs or more, I'm gonna be the same person. I don't see all of that. I'm gonna be as authentic. It would be lovely, of course, but
right.
I don't like to. It's flattering when you guys say that, but I'm real. It's hard for me to say, oh, my fans, oh, you guys are like family. That's why I say my channel is the home team. Like, it's family. So to hear you guys say stuff like that, man, you have no idea what it means. So
yeah, and definitely you be you, right? That's who made you who you are today. The things that you've gone through, the things that you've done in your life, that's what makes you who you are. So continue to be who you are, and the people who dive in with you are going to be with you to the end. So keep doing what you do. You guys have a good night.
Thank you, man.
All right,
Appreciate you
thanks,
coming
bro.
through.
And thank you for your donations and everything too, because you be dropping, you know what I'm saying? Your drops
all the time.
Big ups to you, man.
All the time, man. So
it's all appreciated, man.
Great timing, guys. We got literally about 12 minutes left. That's probably enough time to go into UFC. I'm gonna be very quick. Smitty's probably dived into it a little more than I have. Listen, overall, I've played the game maybe about 6 matches. Haven't had a chance to dive into career mode yet because I think the server, spoiler alert, Smitty says that you can put your face in the game. Yeah. And I think when we played the game, I don't know if that was up or if that feature is available, so I haven't dived into that yet. Smitty's dived into career mode a little bit. But let me just speak on gameplay real quick because I don't want to take a lot of time here. If Madden could respect physics the way that game does. That's all I got to say. It's not football. We understand that. They're 2 different sports. But what we're saying is if being on Frostbite and all that stuff means that they can get interaction, even if it's just a way of tricking us. And what I mean is, even if you only let that play out with wideouts and DBs, that's a start. Or even if you get it to a point, well, we can have it do that in the trenches, but we can't get it all yet. Somewhere, I'm good. That game, I feel the physics in that game. You know, even when you're trying, a guy goes to punch and he catches me first, and the way I mean, that's it. It's so fluid. Oh man, that's really all I got to say. I'm gonna let Smitty do all the talking because he's dived into this game a little more than I have. But that game seems to be phenomenal, and it looks like the story mode is also going to be phenomenal. But take it away, Smitty. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, right now I am very, very impressed with the game so far. This game, I mean, they took the feedback. They took that feedback from that beta, and they definitely applied it. I mean, for those of you guys that watched me stream a little bit, I streamed for like nearly 2 hours last night. I mean, look, I was getting worked because I was playing it on pro, and I mean, you see how they fight. Like they're fighting, slipping, swaying, ducking, dodging, body shotting, throwing combos and all that stuff. It wasn't no overpowered cheat and all that stuff. No, I was legitimately going in, trying to bang. You got to play. You got the range in there. You got your distance. You seen how lethargic I was looking with Tyron Woodley because he was messing me up. And you see, it's like, even though I had a certain amount of energy, like my energy wasn't completely depleted, but my man, he wasn't moving as fast. His strikes weren't coming off as quick. All those different things. Strikes not going out that fast because you rocked. You've been knocked to the deck 2 or 3 times and you getting back up, still hanging in there. Your equilibrium ain't right. You're not gonna be out there just throwing full blasts. Like no, you're messed up a bit.
Sound like progressive fatigue to me. That would sound like.
Yeah. Or better yet, not even progressive fatigue, progressive wear and tear.
That too. Madden, Madden, John White.
Yep. Just say it. So like, you can have all the energy in the world, but you got knocked down 2-3 times. You get slammed on the mat a few times. You still got this high amount of energy, but man, you look like you've been through. That's what UFC is. You got, and see, that's what I'm saying. Look at all the work these guys did from the first UFC title, the way that game felt and looked and ran, to what they got now. The ground game, the transitioning, the clinch game, the transitions with that. They didn't go away from it. They stayed with it and built it up, branched out. built up, branched up. Isn't that, I've said that 8 billion times here about what needs to happen with Madden, but it's like when Madden tries to build up, no, we got to patch it. No, we can't do it. And that's what I'm saying. To an extent, not to be disrespectful, but to put it in that context, it's like kind of to an extent, the Dell's got to kind of flip the bird off and be like, I understand what you're saying, but I'm gonna have to flip the bird to you and just, you know, you're just gonna have to take that L from what you're talking about with that feedback, because this happens on Sundays. And you're gonna just have to take it. It's gonna have to happen at some point. And that's what I'm saying. It can't just keep being, because look, I look at it on Twitter, right? And I'll say this, I'll say that after I finish about UFC. I'll just say this real quick. I'm playing the career mode right now. I'm playing with Bruce Lee. I'm losing fights. I like the game, and I'm enjoying what's going on. Okay, I'm enjoying losing. I'm enjoying the learning curve. That's why I said I was playing it. Look, I was playing it on normal, and I was thinking, okay, I could go in here just like how I used to go. Nah, I'm getting tagged. I mean, I'm
getting smacked
in range. If you relatively in range, they will advance in and start lighting, start tearing up the body. And that's the thing. I'm seeing the hits. I'm feeling the hit. You hear the contact, especially that leg kick right in the side. That sucker smack, just pop. You're seeing it going on right there. That's the stuff I'm talking about. The impact of the sport, it's like you're in it.
Yeah.
Madden, we need that. We need the gameplay back. We need, well, not back. We needed to be at a level that was never there before. UFC from then to now. What they talk about the living worlds, and they talk about the player, you know, the eight, what was it? That player AI and something else, those 3 pillars from back then with Ignite or whatever.
And
yeah, all that stuff.
Still ain't seen the 400 catch animations. I know that much.
Right? Yeah.
Still ain't seen that.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true there, Sim. But all those pillars, even though this is on a different platform and everything, but the bottom line is, I'm seeing all of that in UFC. Put that thing on Legendary. You're gonna see it. Madden, put it on Madden. We used to that. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. It's a little bit challenging, but well, whatever. Madden is not sniffing at hard difficulty in UFC. Hard. Madden difficulty is more like playing on normal in UFC. That's really how comparable it is. It's like it's common. It's commonplace. It's like, oh, okay, all right. But it needs to be more to it. There needs to be levels of depth to it in terms of authentically. Oh, you put it on this level, they're using all the tools against you. They're calling audibles, they're doing this, they're doing that based off of how your approach is. They switch things up on you. You rock the CPU. They trying to clinch now. Oh, doesn't that sound like boxing? When a guy gets rocked, what do they try to do? They try to clinch. They try to grab on and hold on for dear life because they getting busted now. I.e., Fight Night needs to make a return. And yes, 65. They made this game is set.
Don't get me started. I want to have a nice night of sleep. Don't rile me up about Fight Night, man. Oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how they ducking and that's
what I'm saying.
It's the distance factor. And even Smitty put me on to this. Because I went and I did that exact fight, Smitty, that you said, just to test it with Jones versus Cormier.
Yeah.
That jab, that distance, come on, man. It respects the distance gap.
Yep.
It's there. Fight Night now could be where I've always wanted it. It's still not perfect because I could go on for days about other stuff that they really need to do. But I don't know, man. I've heard that. Nah, let me shut up. Let me be quiet. I won't. I can't say that. I can't say that. Well, I'll say this much. I've actually heard that it could have a return at some point, and that's as far as I was able to get. I think to answer the question, maybe this sets it up. I hope so. Y'all know that's my sport, man. Y'all might be a little pissed at me though, because I might skip a Madden event to go to a fight. I'm just telling you. I mean, I feel like, hey, I done brought Madden along enough. You know, I'll still attend one. But I'm just saying, if hypothetically, if I was able to go to 3 events and they could say, hey, you want to substitute one of, yeah, I sure do. That's, football and boxing is my sports, man. Y'all know how passionate I am about boxing. So,
yep,
it's right there for the taking, man. All they got to do is make it.
Yeah, that's all they got to do. So, fight night. UFC is great. UFC is a great game to me. Is it perfect? No, there's some things that they definitely can refine off top, but I am enjoying that game. They need to take those sliders and be able to use them in all the modes. So that's definitely my biggest feedback that I got to give in that regard, because I want to be able to balance it and make strikes even more effective. See, and that's the last point I'll make. Sliders should be an addition, not a Band-Aid.
That's it.
And they literally are an addition in that game. Go out there and strike. Go out there, just walk out there and just act like you ain't going to take that hit and mess around and go down just like that. You will. I want the strikes to be even more lethal. So go ahead, make it more lethal. Go ahead, turn it up. Turn it up and make it more lethal. Dude comes in, steps in the wrong way, they lead or something like that. They catch that kick, they catch that punch the right way, bam, over. Just like that. And see, and I'll say this last thing too. I haven't played a whole ton of fights, but I played a decent number of fights. And from playing, I've only had one quick stoppage in the game so far, because they don't happen all the time in UFC. It's more of a calculated kind of thing. Like, you just catch them and you caught them real good. Boom. Skip all them stages of knockdown. He's done. Only had to happen one time so far. And I love that about the game. Because that balance. Them dudes put that work in, and I'm glad. That's what I want Madden to be at.
That game is
at
tough,
the
man.
end of the day. So I'm going to leave it at that, because I know we're at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to leave it at that.
That game is serious, really serious. And for the record, and yeah, I'll end it with this. I think Madden can be there, man. I mean, as much as we complain and fight and push, it's not that far away.
Nope.
If they're allowed to take the time to do what they want to do. Because I'll even say this, even as much stuff that I know that A-Dub wants to work on, and, you know, I'm sure is working on. I'm pretty sure he is. He's always working on stuff for coverage. As much as I want all of that new stuff in there, I got to have the player movement to go with it, man. You know, I got to have that kind of. So those are the things now where Smitty and I, we're more at, is fundamental core along with innovation.
Yes.
It's now time to see player movement. I think we will at some point soon. I really do, because I've heard conversation in the past about, yeah, that's important. I think it'll happen. Maybe the frostbite allows them. I don't know. But I know that that's on the radar. Rex has said it. I mean, that's common. I just, you know, obviously I can't give you guys years and dates. And of course, if it's Madden 19, I can't say anything. Y'all know that. But I know these things are on the radar. It's just time to make them happen. I'm tired of whoever is cutting the check or, you know, cutting the list down when they're in that production meeting. Stop, man. Those things are the important things. The way the game moves, feels, functions, that affects every mode, even your precious mutt. That affects every mode. And believe it or not, I think you could sell something like that on the back of the box. I could.
Yeah.
I could sell player movement to a fan base, a sports fan base. Few buzzwords, easily sell. Player movement, new player movement. Matter of fact, go look at UFC's. Go look at their back of the box stuff. And it says it right there. New movement technology. Bingo. Wow. Doug Thomas. Shout out to
Thomas,
you,
man.
Another
Come
donation
on, bro.
up in here.
Let's
wow,
go.
you guys are unreal. Unreal. But yes, that's where we'll leave it.
Yep.
I had a nugget I wanted to throw out there earlier, Smitty, and I forgot what it was.
Oh,
here it is. I'm gonna be very vague, but I'm gonna make y'all really research. I like picking with y'all sometimes. There was something that Smitty talked about tonight. If I'm not mistaken, it was on this stream and not the first one. It was something that Smitty said, and y'all got to figure it out, that I've had this conversation, and it was something that we should have seen already. See how many of y'all can figure that out. Something that was going to be in the game already and hasn't made it just yet. Remember, I told you guys there's stuff that we talk about that is on the docket. I mean, literally, yeah, that's going to be in there. And then all of a sudden, we can't get to it. It was something that Smitty talked about on this second part of this podcast because we had the two. Y'all know what happened earlier. See if y'all can figure that out. That was already supposed to happen. Man, oh man. And that still ain't the thing that I said to y'all before that I knew was coming and was there on the plans. And then when I went back, but this thing also was intended to be in Madden 18. But I can't tell y'all what it is because, again, that's NDA stuff because I don't know when it will appear. So I can't tell you what it is. It might be, it could be a Madden 19 thing. I don't know. Remember, I don't know what Madden 19's docket is as of yet. I have no idea at this moment. Got an idea of maybe some of the stuff they might approach, but I really don't know. And I'm being honest with y'all. At this point, I don't know. But try to figure out what it was Smitty was talking about. Nah, it ain't the injury thing. That's all I'm going to say, though, because I might be giving it away if y'all narrow down the topics. But that's it. We got to go. Another week where I'm asked to go into work on Friday. I'm not happy about that, so I got to lay it down. My man Hollywood would know this. I got to travel to D.C. tomorrow. I live in York, PA. Yeah, it's about 2 hours. So I need to go to sleep. And we'll get back at you guys next week, man. Hopefully we'll have some more news to talk about. And let's see if anybody else gets towed on after this tournament. All right, man. We out of here, man. Y'all be good, man. Appreciate all of you guys for coming through. We love you guys, man. And we'll be happy to see you guys back next week. Don't forget to hit the like button and come check us out, man. Outside of Sim Standard Podcast, check out Smitty's channel. He's streaming a lot. I'm starting to get back into it. I only did one this week, but I think next week we'll pick it back up. And there you have it. So, all right. Catch y'all later. Y'all be good, man. Peace.
Peace.